Do you want me to run the intro?
Yeah, you can run the intro. You're in the middle.
All right. And set. Hello and welcome to BetaHaus.Life. My name is Benjamin.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And we have a guest with us today, Randy Booth.
Correct. Please call me Rand, though.
Yes.
Definitely prefer it.
Yeah. So
we were fortunate enough to meet Rand a couple of weeks ago up at Ocean Beach at their farmers market that they have on Wednesday nights. He had a beautiful booth set up with something we had never seen before.
yeah.
We know our way around coffee pretty well, but I've never seen smoked coffee before. And this is not coffee that you smoke.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
Not yet.
But rather in the roasting process it's smoked. And I'll let you get more into that in a minute because you know obviously a whole lot more than I do.
It's true. I do all of the work myself. So,
Yeah.
yes. I'll answer my questions as best I can, but I will say I play my cards kind of close to my chest.
Oh,
and that's
sure.
okay.
Yeah.
We don't
want you revealing anything you don't need
No.
to reveal.
Excellent.
Trade secrets should be trade
No.
secrets.
Precisely.
Mystery
Yeah,
is good.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you want people, I mean, I know you're smoking Nome, so you could let people think that you were smoking the beans like with a bee smoker. You know, this is just, I just stand there with my bee smoker.
I have one technique that kind of
Mimics
is like that.
that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Well, cool.
But the whole point of this, and you're coming in our second group of episodes with this, with guests, and we're focusing a little bit more on vision with
Okay.
these and setting visions for your business and where you see it going. And you shared a couple of those with us so far, and we'll get, again, just introing right now,
Yeah,
so don't
sure.
get scared that
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, I have to lay out my
Oh.
5-year plan
Oh,
right
I'm
now.
not
No.
scared of it. I actually, it's my mantra on a daily basis. I make sure I go through it because at this moment, being the sole owner, operator,
Right.
a chef on the side, a husband and father,
Yeah.
I have to keep it always in the front of my mind because just 1 second out and a few days go by, and
Yeah.
there's no progress.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have no quarrels with such matters.
Yeah.
Let us talk.
But
Cool.
first, just to establish, I would like to hear a little bit of the story of how you got to where you are. And tell us about your brand and why the name Smoking Gnome. And I know you've got kind of a thing with gnomes too, so I'd like to
Yeah.
hear a lot more on that.
Well, the only way to really begin is I started cooking, not professionally, but actually cooking at 8. My father
Okay.
was in the military, my mother worked for a British bank,
Mhm.
but there was a branch in New York, so there were definitely times I was on my own,
Mhm.
or my parents were working late where I would start cooking.
Right.
So the idea of experimentation, Julia Childs, so on and so forth, and yeah, life progresses. Certain things didn't happen. I wanted to join the military, but I have a bad back, kept
Oh,
me
yeah.
out.
Yep.
Wanted to be a doctor, so I did a year of college and realized I can't sit down for that long.
Okay.
I need to be on my feet.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
unfortunately, in this country, they don't teach medicine in an apprenticeship kind of style,
Right.
like in
Right.
China.
Right.
You can do a 10 to 15 year apprenticeship and then become a doctor
Right.
if you chose. We don't have that here. So the next step was, what can I do where I can stand, be a little avant-garde, to say in a kind way, I'll cook.
Right.
Might as well. I grew up in New York City, so wonderful place for someone who already appreciates and loves food
Well, yeah.
to
Mhm.
really begin their career. I went to a culinary school called ICE, the Institute of Culinary Education.
Okay.
Phenomenal school, landed a great job right out of school, and I've been following that for almost 18 years.
Amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you get from New York to San Diego?
I went from New York to Boston, and from Boston I met my now wife, who at that time was my girlfriend. She was doing her first PhD and decided the program wasn't good, so she left with her second master's and got into Berkeley.
Okay.
And I wasn't going to let her slip out of my fingers, so I moved cross country with her.
Yeah.
Out there, I had a wonderful job at a wonderful restaurant called Wood Tavern,
Okay.
and I stayed there the entire time until she finished her PhD. And
Okay.
honestly, she's a brilliant woman, and before she even had her diploma, or her degree as a doctor, she landed a job as a professor at UCSD.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Very cool.
months before even going up and saying hi, thank you, we were already planning moving down here.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah, but we had an agreement though. She wanted to have a kid, and I was like, all right, you get a job, that's awesome, then you can have a kid. That's fine. I should have paid more attention to that agreement. And a deal is a deal, so you have to stick with it.
Yeah.
So she got the awesome job, and we had our awesome child. And here we are.
Very cool.
Okay, so you ended in San Diego,
Yes.
which is cool. Which I say ended. I don't know if you're going to stay here.
Oh,
Obviously,
absolutely
ended
not.
is kind of in quotes, you know.
Absolutely
where
not.
you're-
We're traveling people, the family that is. We definitely, we'll go where opportunity is. We'll go where family is. Currently, we're out here and we have no family really at any close distance. A couple
We understand that
cousins,
completely.
Yeah. And having the one kid, it's just hard. They get sick.
Yeah. What do you do?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, we'll see. We'll see where the future holds.
Yeah.
So you landed in San Diego. You got here. How did you get to producing coffee?
Well, I smoke. I love smoking. It's my favorite cooking technique. In a smoker, over a smoky fire, there's something about it that connects me to what I think is our ancestors and a modern primitive perspective of cooking. Some chefs go into insane methods with technology, and that's great. It's wonderful. But for me, I've just been really happy with the simple things in life and just best way to say it, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel, just make that ride smooth.
Yeah.
And memorable, hopefully.
Yeah.
So coffee is something I've consumed a great deal of over the course of my career. And I definitely have done over 300,000 hours as a chef.
Yeah.
After I hit that a few years back, it was like, I'm done calculating.
Yeah.
Let's not do this.
I'm
And of course,
impressed you got to that point because that is a lot of hours.
that was actually around 10 years of cooking I hit that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and during that time I actually had a tattoo covering my back, and part of that piece was coffee. I just love coffee. My mother's side is Cuban, so growing up with café con leche is like a little kid thing. Don't tell your mother, here you go. Coffee's great.
Yeah.
And, I mean, well, it's true. It's not true, but from what I've read, if everything kind of falls apart, coffee might wind up being a currency. So, I mean, coffee's fantastic. It kind of already is. It's on the stock exchange. It's in almost everyone's life, and it's one of those things where you could do it really well, you could do it really poorly, and it's just amazing how it affects people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, at the same time, we now live in this culture where it's so easy to grab a really bad cup of coffee that's overpriced right around the corner, and we only accept it because we don't have the time.
Right.
And it's already there and it's easy.
Do you see that as a uniquely American thing in regards to coffee?
Yes. Actually, this past OB Farmers Market, there was an English couple who came over to my booth, and they were like, we actually just had Starbucks the first time ever back in London, and the comments they made I can't repeat right here.
No, I understand.
Yeah. It was kind of cute because they have really lovely accents, but they were just saying some awful things.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I can be honest about our views on Starbucks is that we see it for people who want a milkshake.
Yeah, if you want sugar to have bad cholesterol, to you just don't care.
We call it pie in a cup.
Basically, yes, I agree. Absolutely. If you're going on a cross-country trip and you're treating yourself, great. You're going to a new city and you're on vacay, great. But as like a daily substance, no. And if you break down, say, Starbucks, and I don't mean to disrespect them, but if you drink their black coffees, it's horrible.
It's ash.
It's not, I don't know, it just, I try to basically make my coffee not need anything.
Right.
And that's our goal. We like walking into coffee spots and they say, well, how do you want it? And it's like the way you made it. I want to taste it the way it is, black. And if it needs help, then the process needs help. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And of course, it's, restaurants that don't have salt and pepper available are a little too pretentious in my taste.
Right.
And everyone does have a different taste and appreciates things differently. But just, if you can honestly say it's horrible black, well then why bother?
Right. Yeah.
And myself, I was a Starbucks freak, and there was a point I was incredibly overweight and I had bad cholesterol, and I was actually borderline type 2 diabetes.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
So I nipped that all in the bud a few years back, for the last few years, and now everything's fine.
Yeah.
It's great. So
what's your favorite mode of consuming coffee? What's your favorite? Is it just a black cup of coffee, or do you like a cortado, or
black?
Black. There you go.
Just black.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, I'm been fighting cholesterol and
Right.
diabetes, so
Yeah.
no sugar, no creams.
Yeah.
If anything, a little coconut milk just to give me a little spice, and
Yeah.
I might back that up with some coconut rum if I'm feeling festive.
Yeah, there you go.
So we've gotten to where you are now. Okay, so describe we got to talk a little bit beforehand, so I'm going to go back to that real quick, and that you describe what you're doing as a cottage industry right now.
Correct.
Describe what that is for people who may not be familiar with what a cottage business looks like.
So it's a cottage food operation, and California is phenomenal with the fact that they understand it's so expensive in this state, especially to start a business where you need brick and mortar.
Right.
A giant commercial kitchen, if I were to start out with that, I would look into a couple $100,000 total to begin my business.
Right.
Where starting it at home, I think I've not even hit $7,000 as an investment to start this business. But granted, I'm only a few weeks into it.
Yeah.
But progress,
Yeah.
it has its different levels.
Yeah.
It has its limitations because it does keep in mind you don't want to, or no one really wants a food item mass produced in a home kitchen.
Right.
It's a little much.
Right.
And there's no real way of truly regulating it. So unfortunately, at least San Diego does not, I think, have enough health inspectors just to cover the amount of restaurants we have, let alone the CFO.
Right.
And from what I understand, something was passed from Orange County where I guess almost like Uber Eats from home kitchens is now kind of like a thing that's popping up.
Really?
Something to look more into.
Yeah.
But again, there's not enough health inspectors to regulate now the soon to come home kitchen ready to eat meals. So part of the CFO is there is a list of items I can work with and items that are considered hazardous.
Right.
And those are the items that are used in professional commercial kitchens,
Right.
restaurant around the corner, which is understandable. I mean, if you've got eggs in your thing, you're going to potentially work with salmonella. Right. I mean, it's great. Safety is the most important thing.
Absolutely.
And with the CFO, there's also the limitation of where I can sell and how I can sell. It has to be direct person-to-person or third-party-to-person sales, which is fine, I suppose. But then, of course, that keeps it down with there's a certain amount I can make per year with sales.
Right.
But it's fine because it's a wonderful way to see if what you're going to do is going to be successful. And with Smoke Coffee, because going through this process of being a legal entity that can sell it, I've found out that no one here in San Diego is doing it.
Right.
So yes, it could taste phenomenal, but at the same time, it might not sell at all.
Right.
So it's best to test it out without being too in debt.
Right. Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
And get to, we're in our beta phase right now, which is
Right.
really funny because the name is Beta House Studio, but
Right.
when will we ever leave beta? But, our model doesn't exist for what we are as a business entity, and having to figure out what that looks like.
Yeah.
Because it is just like, oh, nobody's doing it, so where do I set price points? Where do I, what do I need to scale? What do I need? And there's a lot of questions that go into that. Because you're clearly doing a different manufacturing process. I say manufacturing loosely, cooking process with it to produce.
There's more
the beans.
hours absolutely involved with it.
Right.
Than a normal roasting process.
Correct.
And that has to be figured into the plan. And if there's not plans already readily available, it's like, oh, I'm writing it myself.
You have to write the book.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Well, luckily enough, there's these coffee houses out there that are already selling like a pound of coffee for $24.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's not even organic. It's just some bean where they don't even tell you where it comes from. They'll tell you the roast.
Yeah.
They'll put it in a 4-ounce package and charge you a ridiculous amount.
Right.
Where, for myself, using organic product that's quality, the time of actually smoking, the labor, the additional overhead for doing so, I still can keep my prices a little bit cheaper than these coffee houses selling this unknown, who knows if it's even a top quality product bean.
Yeah.
I try to keep enough information around so potential customers and clients can easily see the farms that my beans are coming from.
Right.
And at the same time, I'm consistently with my beans purchasing it from, yes, a third party out of New York, because I don't have a commercial kitchen, so I can't yet purchase it directly from these farms.
Right.
But luckily enough, it's still able to get to these areas, and I feel like, all right, that's a community that's being helped out consistently. by me, and
Yep.
now other people are seeing this is. It's just the connection of creating a larger community outside of San Diego and
Right.
trying to hit the global community, and
Yeah.
that's definitely one of my goals.
Awesome.
So we just touched on one of your goals. What are some of your other goals that you're looking for right now?
Well, at the moment, for this year's goal, is just to get the name, the brand, and recognition of what I'm doing as being a thing. And that would be great.
Yeah.
My following 2 years, my goal is to get out of the home kitchen and into a commercial kitchen and get serious with what I do. In the past, I've tried to start other businesses involving food. One of it was I do these amazing spice blends.
Okay.
So when I'm a head chef in the kitchen, I have these pre-done up spices. This way it's always consistent for my workers to just get in there and get the job done right. I wanted to sell those at one point in time with a CFO, but looking into the restrictions, and of course I was in a Berkeley apartment, I definitely had no space to kind of hold the 30 different ingredients to make 2 or 3 different items.
Right.
But luckily I have a house now, so I have the space to deal with beans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess get out of the commercial kitchen, get into eco-friendly, organic style clothing. Long-term plan, as I spoke to you a little bit about earlier, I want to get into Nome Homes and really create sustainable, affordable housing communities using 3D printing technology.
Right.
And I would love to hear more about that.
Yeah.
Like, just, you know, is that already being used in places right now?
From what I understand, Europe,
Okay.
Germany primarily, and that's as much as I know. But of course, I'm just starting my business right now, so I'm keeping my mind wrapped around it. I have a wonderful brother-in-law who lives in Estonia who designs boutique, eco-friendly housing, homes, hotels, and so on throughout Africa, Dubai, and eventually, I think him and my sister-in-law want to move out here to California. Hoping to incorporate him into this master plan and truly have like Nome home communities where people will hopefully not spend more than $200,000 on it, because the 3D printing technology it's so sustainable because it's just concrete being laid out in your framework, your walls, your insulation is covered because of the concrete. You're going to save on your bills at the end of the year. It's a phenomenal form of technology. Some could say that it will take away jobs from people who would build homes, but the thing is, once you build a home, if you don't have your next job lined up, whatever, but if you're a family and it's hard to get by, which it definitely is, say in California, if you know this house is going to last, it's going to be affordable with the bills, and it will be ours cheaply. Well, let's do it.
Yeah.
But of course not put these communities in the middle of areas that look like it's on Mars. I mean, it needs to be relatively close to areas where there are jobs.
Right.
Well, I've seen that a lot in people who are trying to come up with eco-friendly homes. It seems like when you see videos about them, they are in these strangest locations.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I have no interest in such matters. I mean, if it takes longer than 25 minutes to get to your job, it's not worth it.
Right. Right. You're losing the value that you created.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So,
increasing your carbon footprint just for drive time, and then
and not even that. As you know, being those with families, if you're too far away and there's an emergency at home,
what are you gonna do?
Precisely. And here in the state of California, tsunamis, earthquakes, wildfires, keep the list going.
Right.
Anything could happen at any point in time, so it's good to just be close to your home. And of course, these homes that are being designed in Europe are meant to withstand war for the most part.
Right.
I would rather be in one of those homes in case of an earthquake happened
Yeah.
than some of these homes I lived in back in Berkeley, where there were earthquakes constantly. Actually, when my wife went into labor, it was because 1 minute before her water broke, we had a 4.7.
Oh, okay.
Woke us up out of a dead sleep.
Yeah.
And I think.
Startled things along.
And full on breakage. It was insane.
Yeah.
So earthquakes are bad.
Yeah.
And horrible thin stick homes are horrible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Our house is 100 and something years old that we live in. We said we don't have heat, we don't have air. Lately, it's 41, 48 degrees in the morning. Our bed is right up against that single plate glass window. It's cold.
It's so cold.
It's just cold.
There's no insulation in the homes.
No.
I mean, if you're lucky enough, if you have the that horse hair that they used to use once upon a time.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's not a lot.
No. It's like white chunks wrapped in horsehair. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm trying to explain that to people who live like back east and
Yeah.
are like, but it's like -5 here. It's like,
Yeah, but you're insulated and you have heat.
You have heat. Yeah.
And guess what? When you wake up and you go to work,
Uh-huh.
you might have a 10-degree difference in your day, and
Mhm.
you have acclimation time.
Yeah.
Where here in San Diego, it's like, all right, now it's 78 degrees,
Mhm.
now it's 45 degrees,
Yeah.
now it's 80 degrees, now it's 60 degrees. There's,
Yeah.
I mean, I think the weather here really symbolizes manic depression.
I think that's a good
pretty
way to put
accurate.
it. Yeah.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Do I wear a hoodie today? Do I wear a jacket? Do I
Yeah,
wear
you
a
have to-
t-shirt?
you have to
Sandals,
check.
closed toes? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of all over the place. It's wild.
Just keep it all in the trunk of the car.
Yeah. Just change the middle
Live
of
out
the
of the car.
Yep.
So with this, when did you? This question could be a little weird. When did you start getting your vision and focus for the coffee? We'll start there first.
Fall 2017.
Okay. And was it, when you got to that point, was it one of those things that you had to work through for a long period, or was it like the lightning bolt idea? Because people come to it different ways, and it's not.
Smoking coffee is something I've played around with just because I have a smoker.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
So there's two kinds of people in the world: a mind to world mentality and a world to mind. I'm a world to mind. I see something and it just sparks my creativity, and I get obsessed over things too. So a little OCD happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got done with cooking as a professional chef. It's very tedious, strenuous, and I've done it long enough. Something new, and I wanted to do something mine. For years, I've been trying to figure out, like with the spices. I actually used to make giant 48-inch diameter plastic LED controlled succulent terrariums.
Okay. Yeah.
That company was called the Honey Tree Project.
Yeah.
So fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Doing weird art installations with those items for parties or whatever. It was fun, but it didn't really manifest into something.
Yeah.
But I felt that this one night I was like, you know what? Smoke coffee.
Yep.
No one's doing it. It's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Starbucks can do it. I can.
Yeah.
That was really it.
Yeah.
That's been my driving factor
Yeah.
in that aspect of why I think coffee might wind up being
Mm-hmm.
successful for me.
Well, and then again, so it's just so people know, this is not sponsored content. There's no money exchanging hands on this.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Your treatment with that decaf, with the maple.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. So I think decaf gets rough treatment a lot.
Absolutely.
It's like, well, here's your Brazil, and they just throw it at you, and it was, what's the roast? I don't know. It's and they don't care.
No.
I will honestly say, and it's not just because you're here. Your maple sugarcane Colombian is probably the best decaf I've ever had.
Well, thank you.
Period.
Oh,
And
thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I always kind of go into decaf with it, but there's a touch of trepidation. It's like, well, it's not going to be good. And you gave us the sample at the market, and I was like, that's not. There's no way.
Yep.
And then when we got home and I brewed it, and it was like, no, that's real. It's good. And it's just, and it caught me off guard how good it was.
Thank you.
Because it was just. Because decaf gets treated so poorly.
Yes, because people don't care.
Yeah.
If you don't put love and intent into something, then
Yeah.
it's not going to turn out with quality.
Right.
And it's just, I don't know. I would like to say universal truth, but it kind of is. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
So I also just found that bean, and I thought it was really amazing that farm creates an alcohol out of sugar cane.
Right.
And that's what they use to extract nearly 97% of the 1.5% caffeine content of the bean, which is fantastic. No insane chemicals used.
Right.
And it leaves that caramel sugar flavor behind. So there, when I mentioned earlier, the perfect black cup of coffee, I feel like the sweetness, plus the sweetness added from the applewood means maybe no sugar. So now no decaf or no caffeine if you're worried about that.
Yeah.
No sugar.
No sugar necessary. Yeah.
And it's the lighter roasts. It's not bitter, and I feel we put cream or creamers into our coffee because it's bitter, not because it's hot.
Right. Right. Yep.
It's covering up something.
Yeah. It's
not
trying to make
yeah.
it smooth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what creamers do.
Right.
They smooth it out. But why can't a cup of coffee just be smooth as is?
Right.
I don't know.
So have there been any unexpected obstacles that you've hit so far in this journey?
Well, the biggest one's my own ambition of creativity.
Okay.
So the only way I can describe it to you is say we'll take the Colombian sugarcane and the dozen or so different woods that I can use, the dozen or so different saturation and time durations, and then of course the 8 different roast levels that I could potentially do.
Right.
And then if I want, I can mix different roast levels to it just. So that has definitely been an obstacle. Is just keeping myself calm.
Okay.
And not getting too ahead of myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you start doing the math. Like I'm like sitting here thinking you're going through all those numbers. And I was like, that's suddenly a lot of variations that could exist.
Exactly. And before going to the market, they did exist. And my wife and I tasted them.
Yeah.
So
I'm making another cupping tonight. Oh, okay.
Oh no, it's not even a cup, and we have the 3.5-year-old at home.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, just keep that pot going. And for some odd reason, whenever I use my wife's voice, it comes out kind of Tom Waits. I'm sorry, sweetheart. You know this happens. I mean, I love Tom Waits, so it's respect, but I do. And Tom Waits, if you ever hear this, I would love to give you a cup of coffee.
There you go.
Good plug there.
If you hear this and you know Tom, pass it along.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'd love to give you my coffee, buddy.
One of the things that I think really goes along with having a vision and a focus is also you have to have a level of flexibility.
Of course.
With it to be able to change paths.
Oh yes, I've redone my business plan dozens of times in the last month. I mean, after each farmer's market, redo the business plan.
Yeah.
When I officially became legal to sell and got that notice, you can do it, all is well.
Yeah.
I switched my business plan. I originally just wanted to hit up brick and mortar establishments that were already established in the community with their marketing and their branding. And then I kind of realized, well, no.
Yeah.
No. I mean, they're doing their thing, and I appreciate what they're doing out there. But their styles are not like mine, so I'm going to have to hit it from a different angle. And I've definitely heard from some of these owners, like it's not the right kind of application for this place. I think, okay, I hear you bargain. I mean, that's fine. Do you actually know if it is? Have you had someone taste my coffee? I don't mean to boast, but I'm proud of my work. Bruce Lee. I'm bringing in Bruce Lee because he had one of the most amazing sayings.
Okay.
He would say, I'm not afraid of the individual who's done 10,000 different kicks once, but I'm afraid of the individual who has done one style of kicking 10,000 times.
Right. Yeah.
So that also plays with my cooking. In the last almost 3 years, I've been a caterer with Eco Caters, so I've cooked so many different kinds of menus.
Right.
But I honestly can say I haven't perfected one of them in nearly 20 years. Yeah. Because it's always changing, and it's always going, and it's just something beautiful about actually just trying to make that perfect cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And I think that plays into one of our values here that we have, and our phrase is "Don't be a jack," because when you're a jack of all trades, you're a master of none. Right. And
absolutely,
you know, the whole reason we exist here is so that if you're a business person and want to get out on the digital space, you don't need to become a expert at cameras, at recording, at sound, at all of that. You need to focus on your business and make that as awesome as it can be, because that is your expertise.
Yeah, it's a good thing to do, because I honestly will admit outsourcing is important when you are a solo operator, owner. You need to. You gotta know when to hold and know when to fold. There you go.
Yep. That's true though. I mean, otherwise and I was in the nonprofit world for like 20 plus years, and so I know what it means to have to wear 18 different hats at any given time. Yes. And you like, here's my Tolkien quote for you, like butter spread over too much bread. You know, you spread too thin. There's not enough of you to go around, and nobody gets fair treatment. Nobody gets your best because you're having to do too much.
Oh yeah.
And so learning to outsource and learning to find those different resources is key.
Well, and outsourcing and building a team.
Right.
You know, because getting into those networking things where you have people where you have something of value to bring to the table, they have something to bring to the table too, and in discussions, both businesses grow.
Yeah.
one hopes, indeed.
Yeah. And I mean, and
that's the dream. Yeah.
That's what happens. And, you know, we've found several of these communities to be able to be a part of, and it's been great for us. And just that, you know, this person understands marketing.
Yes.
And we have a discussion, and I understand YouTube.
Yeah.
And, you know, we can have this conversation. It's like, oh, I never thought about that. Oh, I never thought about that. You know, and it's like, that's so cool. And everybody goes away happy, hopefully. And just learning that the teams, the outsourcing can take so many different forms. You know, it could be that you have a mentor. It could be that you have a coach. It could be just that your great uncle Bob was really good at this thing, and you got to sit and listen to him by the fire telling you stories.
Yeah.
And all of that builds into who you are.
Of course.
And helping you grow as a person, and knowing to look for those things and not just compartmentalize your life.
Yeah.
See how it fits together. That was kind of really rambling on that. Sorry.
No,
So
rambling.
as far as your plans for Smoking Nome and just yourself in general, if you could add on a second set of hands to your operation right now, what would you enjoy passing on to somebody else? I'm not going to say passing off on somebody else, but enjoy passing along to. How would you want to be partnered with?
Well,
I guess probably the better way to say that.
I think at this point in time, because I do it all myself. My wife does what she can on the intellectual level. She's not a culinary expert. She's doesn't have a food handler's license, so I can't actually let her touch anything bean related.
Okay.
Yeah. But sweetheart, how do I do this on Excel? She's on it.
Okay.
I mean, grammar, please check it. I've been in the kitchen. I don't have decent grammar. It's just, and I like to use the word shall and shan't a lot. That's for you, sweetie. I guess at this beginning phase, any sets of hands that would come on, I would probably treat it with the idea of it's not about the money right now, but ownership.
Right.
And would actually, I'm currently an LLC.
Okay.
So if someone were to come in, I felt like they wanted to make this what I want to make it, or even more so, and it worked, and well, as much hard work you put in, the more of a percent you can possibly get.
Right.
Or just give me a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
Angel investors are always beautiful things.
I mean, yeah, but money right now would be great, but even better would be someone to help me out. And I actually have my wife, son, and I were going to Berlin April 1st to June 15th. She's going to do some research at the Max Planck Institute. My son will hopefully do some daycaring and hanging out in the city, and I will be taking some beer making classes.
Oh, that sounds like a blast.
Yes, the intent is to come back with a lot of adjectives. Hold on.
Okay.
Cold smoke, cold brew, single origin organic coffee beer.
Okay.
Oh wow.
So not making like an IPA with beer,
right,
but actually making the coffee into the beer.
Oh wow.
So
that sounds interesting. I'm not like my wheels are turning thinking through all of that.
You know, I've seen like a very simple process very recently from this one gentleman who owns a hops farm where he just takes his hops and throws it in a bottle of water and is like, let this sit on your dashboard for a week and a half, drink it, and see what happens. And I did that.
Yeah.
It was like, well, why are they selling all this equipment at these local shops?
Yeah.
I mean, if you could just take this stuff and just put it in water. Now, what if you take this and do a cold brew, like one of my cups of coffee? I mean, with enough play and experimentation, I'm hoping to have something interesting.
Yeah. Find the numbers, the ratios.
Yeah.
Play with it. Yeah. I'm It's going to be interesting, yeah.
No, that's one of my goals to start working on that when I get back in the summer and hopefully have that ready to go into some sort of beta testing at the end of the year.
So, okay, logistic mind going here. How does alcohol play into the cottage licensing?
I'm going to have to sort that out.
Because I'm assuming that
I've got time to do it.
Alcohol is a whole nother entity to deal with. That's what I just...
It is definitely another entity to deal with, but there's been some local kombucha companies that started off with CFOs, alcoholic kombucha. If they can do it, then I believe I can do it too. They've started out at homes.
And
worst comes to worst, I'm sure I can find a commercial kitchen, at least rent one out, where I just make that product in that kitchen. Whatever it takes, if I come up with something that's absolutely tasty, it has the desired effect I'm looking for, which is pretty much being able to do all those crazy dance moves I was able to do in my early 20s without feeling it too much,
Yeah.
then I will succeed with my mission.
Yeah.
But I've got time. And in between that, I'm starting to put together. So every time I want to add something to my CFO list of labeling, I have to send it into the DEH, the Department of Environmental Health. So I'm now working on red eye rub spices to start selling in the next month or so, or as soon as they approve the actual packaging labeling.
Okay.
Yeah. So
your ingredients.
I noticed that on the labeling for the coffee is like, because it's from your home, it's got all the licensing and everything.
Every little
all the
detail.
legalese is there.
Oh yeah. I mean, essentially, customers can just walk up to my house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another reason I want to get out of my house.
Yeah.
Just to have some sort of commercials, even storefront.
Yeah.
But not a storefront to sell merch,
right,
but to have tastings and conversations and educate.
Yeah.
Because one of my favorite things to do with coffee, or my style of coffee, is to educate people on it.
Okay. It's fun to pass along knowledge.
Yeah. A lot of people have misconceptions about coffee because of really horrible advertising.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or they've only ever had Folgers and followed the directions on the back of a can of Folgers.
Oh, let's not get into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm blown away by the beer thought. I'm sorry, I'm still back there.
No,
I haven't left that spot. But it's so fascinating, like, just to think about one little thing. You know, what you would think would be so simple as I smoke coffee. And then those different applications and how quickly that grows, you know, and then thinking, if I can do this with it, what if we tried this?
Possibilities start to open up. Yeah.
As I said, one of my biggest problems is my creative side, my worst enemy, by going, all right, you really need to package these beans to get them ready for tomorrow, but instead I'm over here writing recipes out for thoughts that just kind of kicked me in the head because I saw something.
Right.
Yeah. I'm very excited about this rub, though. I've been using it for almost 6 years now. Yeah. Professionally, it's so delicious.
What type of things does it go on?
Everything. So my wife and son are vegetarians, and we have a vegetarian household.
Okay.
With the catering company I work for on the part-time, very big on the nutritious and vegetarian aspect of food. And meat, I mean, meat is just so easy to work with, in my opinion. It's salt and pepper and proper cooking technique, and you'll just make it delicious every time. But Brussels sprouts will not be delicious to everybody every single time.
No,
so you need to put intention to that.
Yeah.
So that's the goal.
Okay.
And
I'm always, real quick side note, amazed that vegetarians who don't want meat go for so many meat substitutes that are to be like meat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a thing. I have a freezer full of it.
Yeah. We like corn.
Yeah.
Corn is great.
Oh yeah.
Just for some reason, 4 things of corn at like Trader Joe's is $3.99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Go to Pancho Villa and you get 3 for $1. Why is that?
Yeah.
It's corn.
Yeah.
We live in a country where the government pays corn farmers not to put corn out into the stores, so it doesn't bring the prices down.
Oh, that's a whole other beautiful documentary that is out there. I love that. The guys who went out to Iowa and did the 1 acre. Yeah. That was nuts.
Oh yeah.
Yep. We'll put links for all the things we're talking about, folks. If it's linkable, I will put that in the description.
Yeah, that's going to be your job. You get to listen back through this and find all the links.
I will find all the links.
Well, he's the one, a little behind the curtain.
General manager hat.
Ben is the one who gets...
sorry, I have so much bits and pieces of information. You're going to have a long night.
It's fun. I enjoy it.
Oh, good.
Well, he's the one who sits and listens to it and puts like the actual copy form.
Pseudo-transcription.
Oh, fun.
On it all. I'm the one who does the editing side. So I've got my own little...
I enjoy researching.
You guys should high five right now.
Oh, quiet high five. We haven't done one of those in a couple of days.
There you go.
The quiet high five,
For the sake of the listeners,
You don't want to clap in front of a microphone. It's not very nice to everybody.
Headphone warning.
We made that mistake in one of our shows, like daily-ish. It was like our first recordings of a new show that we did last fall. And we weren't thinking about it, and we like started clapping. We're like, "Oh, sorry."
So sorry. Yeah.
That's really hard to fix in post.
Can only dial that down so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking forward to seeing how this grows. Sadly, I will let our listeners know that because of the cottage thing, you cannot sell online. It has to be in person.
Yep.
So that means you need to come to California and go to Ocean Beach on Wednesday nights.
Yep.
It is a beautiful party down there, although I will let you know parking is a nightmare. But that's pretty much standard for San Diego, that parking is a nightmare.
Yeah, that's a given.
Yep. You can also contact me through my Facebook, and I am okay with meeting up.
Okay.
At
All right, cool.
areas. I live in South Park, and South Park is a wonderful, wonderful town, and I have no quarrels with meeting anyone.
It's very open area, walkable.
Yeah, it's pretty, it's nice.
So does Smoking Gnome have a Facebook group?
We do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
that will be linked in the thing.
Well, I'm saying that out loud right now so that, our listeners, if they are not paying attention to that,
Yep.
So I think the whole we normally also do a shameless plug.
Okay.
But you've kind of done if we've let you plug.
Episode's your shameless plug.
It's getting to be a plug for your thing. But if there's anything else you want to add,
oh my goodness.
okay, just shameless plug for anything right now. Even like your favorite band. I mean, it can really be whatever you want to plug right now that everybody should go check out.
Oh. Whoa.
Yeah, I know it's pretty big.
That's so overwhelming. Every day is a different day and everything changes. So at the moment, I love Poke 1.5. Go get it for your Poke Bowl. They're great.
Yeah.
I'm really into Major Lazer right now. I don't know why. I think probably because they just ended their career of over a decade. But they're really fun to dance around to and roast coffee beans at 2 a.m. So Major Lazer has been like the reason I'm still standing for 15 hours every day. Little Sprouts Academy.
Okay.
They're the ones who take care of my son while I'm working all day long. And
awesome.
they have done a fantastic job.
Yeah.
All of them.
Very cool.
So those are some big shout outs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I will link all of them.
Wonderful.
Down below. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Of course, my wife Karen Walker. So gotta love her. She's fantastic, and she's got some incredible research out there that people, if they're interested in developmental cognition psychology, should absolutely check out.
Yeah.
She's an up and coming star in her field, without a doubt. It's the reason we're going to Berlin for this thing. She won up-and-coming star professor of the year, and wound up getting a fund, so she has a substitute professor coming in to teach her quarter while we go off to Berlin and hang out and study what we want.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Good
Give her a high five from us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There you go.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's cool.
And of course, check out Eco Caters if you need an event done and you want some really lovely, local, sustainable, organic cuisine.
Yeah.
Spot on. And check me out at the OB Farmers Market.
Yes.
Have a sample of coffee and tell me what you think.
Yeah.
Okay, and also we now need to do our selfie that we always take in the
middle of the.
We do it at different points in the episode. Sometimes at the end, sometimes beginning, sometimes middle.
So is this the middle or the end?
We're getting to the end right now. We're wrapping it up. So if we can all get in here, I am not the selfie taker. That's normally Ben. So actually, I'm gonna do it this way.
There we go.
There we go. We'll sit better. I'm getting like a weird chin.
Microphone's out.
There we go. So ready? 1, 2, 3. There we go. Got that. So that will be up on our Instagram. I realized that the other day that I came away from the microphone trying to do that and nobody could hear me talking. I was like, oops. But that'll be up on our Instagram. So if you're following us over there on Instagram, we are at BetaHaus Studio. You will have already seen that, and you get to be in the know before everybody else about who's the guests and who is here. So that's your super secret code for tonight, I guess. Or like, you know. With that, it has been so much fun getting to talk with you and getting to hear about all of this.
Thanks for having me come down. Hopefully I'll see you more often after this.
Oh yeah, we're typically up in Ocean Beach on a lot of Wednesdays. So
excellent. Checking out what's out there, who's coming out in the scene. Wonderful. And of course it is just a fun party.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. It is a great night.
Oh yeah. Before selling at the farmer's market, the family and I, my wife, and soon, hopefully, my son, when he's a little bit taller, we're all fire dancers. So it's
well, we've been down there and we've seen that.
Yeah, down at the end of the farmer's market, down on the beach. Yeah.
So if you're into that, that's just a fun spectacle.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like a good spectacle that's free?
Yeah.
Yep. We used to people, they were part of a group called the Salters, and they would do fire dancing and a bunch of stuff like that too, out east. So,
lived in a bus.
Yeah.
You definitely have known quite a few of those.
Yeah.
It was once
traveling musicians.
There was a fire group called the Grasshoppers back in Boston. That was a good time.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool.
So I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next week.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.